Hello everybody, it is OJ Hydra, OJ the Goof, Goof the Hydra, Hydra the Goof, whatever the fuck you want to call me, I will do it for you, babe. You can call me anything you want. I am here bringing you guys a video on unusual and different new ways that you can get better at Fortnite. Now, I am not the most insane Fortnite player ever. I do have well over 200 wins, and I am constantly getting asked by my friends, how the hell do you play solos? How do you even do it? It sucks. Solos suck so much. What do you? Give me some tips. How are you good at it? How the hell are you playing on a console anyway? Well, that's an easy one. I have a scuff. But this video will not include tips that you guys have already heard, stuff you've heard a million times, like building ramps instead of stairs, jumping and looking behind you, double pump, heavy shotgunning, whatever extravaganzas. None of that stuff. Switching your controllers to Combat Pro, none of that. It's not going to include any of that. This is going to be more about the mind, what you guys are thinking when you're playing, where you want to be when you're playing. So let's get right into it. So I want to lay something out there before we get started, and that is that I've already made this video beforehand. Now, when I first made it, I had jump cuts everywhere. I had labels on everything. Everything was spaced out in a perfect, really good manner. And it was kind of messy, and I didn't really like the way it was. It was well done, but there was just a lot going on the screen, and that's not what I really want for this. I want it to be a lot more laid back. I'm just going to give you guys my opinions on a lot of the ways that you can get better at Fortnite and think a bit differently while you're in game. And I have some videos. I just jumped into Fortnite. I played with my buddy Jimmy Slim. We played some games. It ended up going up more or less in our favor. We had some good times. So I have that in the background for you guys to enjoy. But let's get started. First off, I need to let you guys know that you can't play Fortnite like you would watch a background show. Okay? Don't turn your thinkers off and wait to get into a gunfight. Stalk your prey and don't shoot when you get the chance, but when you're sure to get the kill. Okay, this isn't a run and gun Call of Duty, and don't hate on me for saying that because Call of Duty 4 was my first multiplayer game. I love Call of Duties, but Fortnite is a highly planned strategy running simulator, and that brings me into my next point. There's going to be a lot of times in Fortnite when you guys are running from the storm, when you guys are trying to just get into the circle, never run in a straight line. There are snipers everywhere. You got to play this game as if there's always somebody watching you. I like to think to myself, how much of the time, or how many times have I not known that there is somebody watching me and I've just been playing the game and there's some dude who's stalking me, okay? So stalk your prey, do exactly what they're doing, and wait for the perfect moment to get the kill. And if you guys are going to be stalking your prey, make sure that you're using everything that you can to not be seen. If you guys are running up behind them and they're running to the top of a hill, try and get behind a tree so if they decide to jump and turn around and look behind them, they won't see you. Get behind that tree. Once they get to the other side of the hill, then you can start moving again. Use the ground to your advantage. If they turn around and you're way in the open and you know that they're going to see you, stop. Just stop completely if you're in a decent spot. Here's the thing. I have once been following a team for about, I don't know, maybe 2 minutes. I was just following, stalking them, waiting for a good moment to attack them. And I did end up taking them out. But there was a certain point where I just stopped, waited, and I had 4 of them just staring directly at me, and I just wasn't moving, and none of them saw me. And they just kept jumping up in the air, looking behind them, and none of them could see me because I wasn't moving. That whole pixel changing thing, other people are looking for that too, okay? If they don't see any pixel movements, they probably won't know it's a guy. Don't just start shooting randomly. Now, another thing is with your eyes. Okay, when you guys are playing, you should be switching back and forth between looking in the game and at the screen. And what I mean by that is that you should be able to differentiate between tiny pixel changes in your screen. So go back and forth between playing the game and looking at the exact things on the screen, all the pixels, and if you see a tiny little change, that could be a guy. I can't tell you how many times I've been just playing the game and my eyes have just gotten used to seeing those changes in the screen, and I can see a guy that's 400 meters out. And I have gotten so many sniper kills that are 300 meters plus because of just being able to see the tiny little pixel changes. Okay, so don't just get into this bland mindset of running in, waiting to get into a gunfight. No, stalk your prey like I said before. Creep up on them. Make sure you can see them from way out there and you'll be good to go. Another one of my favorite things to tell people is you have to simulate enemy movements. You should always be thinking, where is the next guy going to be coming from? Where's the next team going to be coming from? Why will they be coming? If you're going into Tilted, down by Loot Lake, and you're trying to get in there, you should be damn sure that there's going to be people coming from Shifty, over from Greasy. Depending on where the circle is, you should always be thinking about where these people are going to be going, for what reasons, why. think as if you're in their shoes. Think as if what would be the best plan of action depending on where the circle is, where they're going to get to. Always be simulating enemy movements and choose your ground based on that. Don't ever get in between two mountains, especially later on in the game. Another thing I love to tell people is never go to the center of the circle. Ever, unless you're forced into it and it just happens to spawn around you, okay? Never do that. Especially later in the game. Never go to the center of the circle. There's going to be people all around you. Try and get to the high ground. Try and build a base on the edge of the circle. And jump in if you have a launch pad. Run in, go around the edges. Wait to get into a better gunfight with people. Don't just play it as if you're going to be reactionary with it, okay? You got to plan everything out and you got to be ready for anything to happen. Stay away from low ground, as always. Aim for the head. Another thing, when you guys are going and checking through buildings, always make sure you're checking ammo crates. I get so pissed off when my teammates don't check ammo crates. There's a huge difference. Later on, actually, at the start of the game, if you're checking ammo crates and you happen to get a rocket launcher like 10 minutes into the game and you've been checking ammo crates, it's the difference between 2 rockets and 30 rockets. Okay? Always check ammo crates. And when you're looting buildings, always be hitting stuff. Take out your pickaxe, whack the chairs, wax whatever as you're looting, okay? Because that'll give you guys a lot of materials and you'll be all good to go. Now, I don't have too much to say about the actual gunfights because, as I said before, this isn't going to be tips and tricks for how to outgun people, how to outplay people in that sense when you're actually in a gunfight. That just comes from time in game. That comes from practice. That comes from game sense, all of that stuff. So you guys got to jump in and you got to play. Those have been a quick few tidbits of information for you guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed. It wasn't too long. I didn't want to make this too long. This is more so about how you want to be thinking when you're playing. I'm sure as soon as I finish this video, there's going to be a shit ton of stuff that I'm going to forget about and that I'll want to add in here. But this is just a real basic rundown of stuff that you guys should know and the way that you guys should be thinking when you're playing.